Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Quiver Podcast. Thanks for listening to us. Today we'll be discussing about our two wins in the Phil tournament against FEU and UE over the weekend and discussing Coach Topex Robinson's 3-year extension as head coach of the De La Salle Green Archers. So thanks for listening everyone. I'm Kiko, joined today by Vic. Say hello.
Good day, everybody.
Gia
Hi everyone.
and Willie.
I'm back from Cavite.
You're
Safe and sound.
alive and kicking for Willie. Did you receive your extension as your official internet troll or hindi pa?
Wala pa yata.
Ano
Wala
naman,
pa
pro bono
yata.
tayo
Wala pa.
dito eh. Pero basta Cavite, pro bono tayo.
ano,
By God's
annual
grace,
renewal.
by God's
Oo.
grace, I continue my noble work.
Okay, guys. Let's get started on the Phil games for the meantime. Two games in a span of 3 days. Played FEU last Friday to beat them 1966, beat UE 191. Two different kinds of games. FEU, we were ahead from the start, took a big lead, got the bench players, rotational players got to play there. UE came from behind in that first half, 43-39. Kasi pinasa ng konti, went on a big 35-7 run. Now we're still undefeated in the Phil Oil, playing against UST for the top spot at the end of the eliminations. Vic, biggest takeaway from these two games that you saw recently?
Ayun nga. I think yung common denominator of those two games is we need to do work counter defensively. As good as it seems na we're scoring high and we are giving out huge we are establishing big leads. Ang bottom line pa rin, if we don't work hard on defense, walang mangyayari sa atin. As what we've seen Friday tsaka kanina, uh, yes, kinda we had a very very hot shooting no Friday. We were able to generate easy baskets para magkaroon ng malaking lamang, but the bottom line there is defense. If we don't do well on defense, wala. I mean, that is our that will be our calling card uh this season. We cannot be that team na we will just rely on half court sets to make baskets. Medyo yan yung malaking pagkakamali na we will commit. So yun yung ano natin dito. If we want to get that championship back to Taft Avenue, we really need to work hard on defense to generate
Yeah.
yung ating offense.
So yeah, so despite having all these new weapons on offense, Vic, it will be defense will really be our calling card the coming season. Yun yung susi
Yep.
to bring back the championship. Gio, two different games. FEU, we saw a lot of the bench players come in, hold the fort, secure the win for us. UE came from behind from the first half, down by 4 points, win about 35-7 run. 11 players made at least one three-pointer in that game. Who's in among these two stretch of games? And really, this is Philadelphia. It's really an audition for who makes the UAP lineup. Who has impressed you the most? Maybe it was the
I
veterans or the incoming or to the new players.
yeah, I think I'll stay consistent with what I've said in the past. Is that I really think it's the new guys, see Pablo, Amos, Kian, and Jacob Cortez. And what impresses me the most about these four guys is that they're able to deliver anything between 40 to 70 points per game just between the four of them. And that's big considering that last year, if KQ was easily delivering to us 50, no, not 50, 30, 20 points per game, we've essentially doubled his output. And it's a lot to try and replace an NBA player. Just kidding, fake news yun. Di pa yun totoo.
Uh,
Di pa yun totoo.
as of now, he's closer to the Jin Kings than Sacramento Kings. Kung si Kevin Bell. As of this time, mas malapit.
Pero alam mo naman, fake news peddler din naman tayo here. So,
Oo
it's okay.
naman.
Yeah. So, actually, si Willie nagsabi sa akin kanina kasi he's been on Twitter the whole day. So, uh, okay. But that being said, the four players kasi was a little bit more expected eh. But I think if we talk about the likes of Earl Abadam, who's coming back from a terrible injury last season, who's playing quite well also. I think that's another big thing for us. Bright Nwanko, who's stepping in for a missing, God, Henry Agonane, I almost forgot his name.
You
For
choose
missing
to
Henry.
forget his name, Gio. Do not. I think you choose to forget his name.
I've never said anything publicly against Henry Agonane. Okay, so so Bright coming in and rebounding, blocking shots, and being solid defensively. That's another really impressive performance for me.
Yeah, let's stay on there, but Gio, how crucial will Bright? We always talk about. We always look. The Dreams and I always have an Mbala game changer type of FSA, foreign student athlete. Those don't always come often. Our past few FSA have been more of role player types, and maybe that's what we're getting for Bright. Do we have enough talent around them with the Mike Phillips to, for Bright just to afford to do the smaller things here and there as our FSA?
I genuinely think so. I genuinely believe that we need an FSA now to, you know, simply do the dirty work. He needs to rebound. He needs to he needs to be able to block shots. He needs to create good screens, and he needs to not be a liability on offense. I think that's the most important thing that we can ask for an FSA, right? Like
Yeah.
if he comes in, he makes a great shot, fantastic. Gets a rebound, put back.
Limits
Okay,
the other foreign student athlete to an extent. That's all we can ask for,
oh,
kahit, di ba?
oh. And
Oo,
ano
di ba?
and the most important thing naman in the game of basketball is really who makes the least mistakes. Eh.
Mhm.
And I think at the end of the day, as long as we have a player who does that, shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. And the barometer is quite low now for FSAs because we have Mike Phillips there to do things that other teams experience get from their foreign student athletes, diba? He just needs ours to look like he's played basketball before at the bare minimum. That'll be a nice thing. Willie, you like to experiment, diba?
Siyempre.
In science,
Siyempre.
in science, in your
Siyempre.
work, in your private life, but in preseason, it's really about striking a balance between experimenting your different lineups, different combinations. And you've seen that Coach so excited during the FEU game. But at the same time, you also want to win every tournament you're in. You don't want to say or throw every game. Every game counts. Every game matters. It's creating that winning culture. What
Ah,
can you say about the balance Coach has been striking for this season? There's of coach of the balance of winning and winning and giving everyone a shot at
ah,
cracking the lineup.
mm Well, ako to be honest, I haven't been able to watch much of the games live pero I'm able to catch up with the happenings and the results thanks to you guys sa mga nag-update sa chat group, sa mga nag-update sa Twitter. Actually, yung importante naman talaga sa akin makita kung ano ba yung final score kung umabot ba dun sa magic
Yon.
number pero
Yon.
pero parang ano yun, nakita ko okay, tinatambak na natin. Okay, relax. Makita natin halftime, okay, down tayo. Okay. Tapos mamaya makita ko third quarter, okay, tambak na naman. Relax. Pero I think now we're able to go back to your question. No? I think now it's really the best time outside of the actual season to really experiment, play around with different matchups, different lineups, see how each of the boys responds no, to pressure, to what Coach Topex is asking them to do. What better way than to do it here in a in a preseason tournament na where ayun nga, as what was mentioned earlier na more or less this is the lineup that's going to be fielded no, in the upcoming season. So more or less you have an idea of who you're going to be matching up against. And while tayo naman, obviously we want to win every game. But if the lesson that the boys will get from losing or really struggling through their games, kung mas malaki yung makuha nilang lesson nun na yung realization nila, shit, kulang pala yung ginagawa ko, or shit, mali pala yung ginagawa ko, or ganito pala dapat yung na-expect ni coach sa akin, then I think that's a much better result overall than getting a win. Pero syempre, iba sa umabot sa magic number 69. Ako lang talaga ang sobrang happy doon.
Yan yung tatawag ni Willie ending every time eh.
Fairy tale ending ko yan.
Oo.
Disney ending ko yan.
Or happy ending in your
Happy ending
terms.
ko yan.
Happy ending. So
Happy
talking about
ending.
switches, literally, aside from lights on live, lights on lights off, Vic, we always talk about how this team has a switch. She's driven by Kian Baklaan. He knows how to turn it on and push the rest of the guys. Let's put our stamp on this game. Is that a good characteristic that you like from this team, to be able to turn on that switch?
Yung iba ayaw kasi parang ang common is dapat from start to finish naka-on yung switch mo. But in reality, hindi siya ganun kadali. Easier said than done kasi all our opponents in the UAAP nag-i-scout sa atin yan eh. Pinag-aaralan din tayo niyan. So, it's important for us na we are flexible and be able to adjust kung ano yung binibigay sa atin ng pagkakataon at any point in the game. So, if we can adjust what opposing defenses are giving us, the better. So sa akin, kaya minsan may okay din sa akin na may switch eh kasi it gives us that unpredictability factor pagdating ng actual season na hindi tayo nagre-rely lang to one or two players. And we have so much to offer pagdating na ng UAAP tournament mismo, we have so much to offer which can help us eventually win that championship.
I remember some past years, Vic, na we've had teams that always could turn on the switch, di ba? We've had some Spitfire teams na minsan problema, di pala naka-plug. So, nabibitin tayo yung teams na. We've had a few years like that. So, okay, this year, we're all plugged in and ready to go. Gio, I think like Vic said, Phil Oil is a chance for other teams to see us, how we play. It's our chance to see how other teams play as well. Unfortunately, one the reason I'm not really a fan of this Phil Oil format, we play all UAP teams in the group stage in the initial elimination round. Anything from FEU and UE we've seen that'll give us trouble. Of course, FEU losing, had a VJ Pre, a bit of soul searching, decided to leave FEU and, find sa promised land in UP. Nag-walk-in lang daw.
Walk-in lang.
Kumain ng fish kumain ng Adidas.
Mang Larry.
O ng fishball, okay, Mang Larry. Tapos parang,
Mang Larry. Okay dito
may parang may basketball team pala kayo dito. So, ganun. So, I think that's how it happened. And
may kasamang allowance yung fishball niya.
Sa loob. may pati yung makikita namin, may mga bills na 1,000 din. Sige. Ayan.
Saan yan? Kakain nga din
tayo.
Alright. Or parang, yung, ever you guys played Monopoly, the board game?
Yep.
If you go running around that oval sa UP, every time you pass a certain point, you collect 200,000. Ganyan parang sa UP. Ganun lang yan. The same thing. Papaawin naman tayo nito eh. Anyway, Gio, what are you hearing from FEU losing VJ Pre UE? Do you see anything? Of course, Linggo, it was a Sunday. Of course, they played us on a Sunday. Played well in that first half. So one game a week, they put us on that game day. Can you see anything from these two teams as possible threats for come UAP time?
You know what? I think it's hard to say no to that. I think that we should always be wary about the threats schools pose to the teams, because once it gets to you, alam mo yun, like when we talk about preseason games kasi they're not being that physical. It's one of those. I'm not bashing the mentality of the team or anything, but I mean even Lasagna to a certain extent will also feel the same way. But we're not fighting for every possession here. At the end goal kasi of every team is to become a UAAP champion. Nobody comes in with all due respect, and comes into the season and say our goal is to be the Phil Oil champion, or our goal is to be the BLIA whatever champion, diba? That's not the goal of the team. The goal of the team is I want to come in and become the UAP champion, and I will do what it takes to make whatever happens before the UAP a stepping stone to that ultimate goal. Therefore, the players are will not fight for every possession in the preseason. They will fight for every possession in the UAAP. In the preseason, it's about getting to 40, 50, 60% fitness before hitting the UAAP. So yeah, sure, we beat them by 11 points, but one could argue, 11 points lang, by 8 points lang, ganon. But one could also argue na, well, kung tambak preseason naman eh. So
Yep.
I think it might be a little too early to tell on that note.
Yeah, we've seen before. We've been champion before coming UAP. We've been had the season that fell short of expectations, right? So it's really too early to get the whole picture in terms of playing these other teams. And final topic on the Phil Oil Willie on the same note. I really what about this? Do you like this part where we all see UAP teams? You won't see an NCAA team till the knockout rounds of the playoffs. Are you a fan of this format where before they used to mix up the teams, right from both leagues in the Phil Oil?
Ah, honestly, hindi ko pa masyado ramdam kasi I haven't really paid I haven't really watched much of the Phil Oil now, pero I guess if I were an avid no watcher no and looking at how the format is. Siguro naman ano yun, I'd like to see some variety din naman pa. Nakita na, oh, it's still the same UAP teams, pero syempre everyone wants a bit more excitement and see how does a UAAP how does a top UAAP team stack up against the top teams
Yeah,
from the other
like
league. But
you'd have made time to tune into those other games, diba? Kung say you were
uh,
playing San Beda at Ran, there have been more interest
uh,
to tune into those kinds of games.
kasi syempre naman kahit papaano you would have these two teams and pati na rin siguro yung mga alumni supporters nila sasabihin, oh, ano yan, tingnan nga natin kung supot nga ba yung, sorry for the term. Tingnan nga natin kung
It's
supot
fine.
yung laro yung mga to. Ano ba to?
There's always that pride. I see from NCAA schools, may pride sila na, I think we're the better league than UAP. May import lang kayo eh. That's always the line eh. May import lang kayo, but we have better, we have better teams eh. That's the thing. You're right. Variety always works. Like you always pick a different category on those websites every time. You have to mix it up a bit.
Oh,
With pang
syempre
ano.
naman. I think we want, gusto natin kakaibang flavor. Flavor of the,
Yep.
kung iba flavor of the month, gusto ko flavor of the day.
Ayan.
All right, guys.
Afternoon delight.
Before we go on to our next topic about Coach Topek's contract extension of the Green Archers, we know what doesn't need variety? Your LPG choice. So when you're talking about going for your cafeteria, canteen, whatever LPG needs you have for your business or your franchise, turn to Blue Fire LPG. The only blue that's right for you. Contact them on social media. Get your Blue Fire LPG for your business today. And of course, Sabi Skincare for fresher, rejuvenated skin. Malapit ng UAP, you want yourself looking good. Nagising ko na sa TV, Sabi Skincare. Check it out on social media. Get yours today. And also, I thank our other partners in Ibarra, Manila. They're amazing watches. And check out the Fletcher store on social media. Okay, guys. Announced a few days ago was Coach Topek's having a 3-year extension, signing a 3-year extension to the La Salle Green Archers until season 91. Let's look back a bit. Of course, let's open old wounds. Taking over from Derek Pumaren, who fell short, losing to Adams on the knockout. Coach Towers brought in January, taking over the reins. First year, in rookie coach LaSalle fashion, he wins the championship. Second year, falls short against UP in the finals. So it's a good resume for those 2 years. First, Gio, was it? I was wondering. I was curious about this. Was it a? I was trying to look back at past articles. Was it a 2-year contract for Coach Tovex? How
You know
does
what?
Uh,
You know what? I think it was a 2-year contract. I don't like, as far as I recall, it was a 2-year contract. So technically, we didn't have a head coach pala this year. Until he resigned.
He's been
Contract.
he's been doing it for free. Ganun ka, I think
Oo.
na-instill yung yung alay kapwa doon kay
Oo.
kay Coach Sopex. Coaching the team for free the past few months in this preseason.
Oo. No, tapos ano pala eh. Tapos, ano tawag doon? Kaya pala, ibang coaches yung nagko-coach, hindi siya.
Oo, ay, parang, wala pa akong sumisweldo. Di pa ako sumisweldo dito. Nakakita lang ako. Then, alright, I guess we get Vic first to it. Champion, runner-up for Coach Topex. Signing, has he earned the 3-year contract extension first for you?
Oo naman. Kasi 2 finals appearances, isang champion, isang runner-up, and then I think yung continuity that we have entering season 88, we can see na hindi naman din siya nagpapabaya, ensuring that we have the best possible talent out there to complement yung kanyang system. So, so far on those 2 years, it's fine. Okay naman siya, and I think we're poised to be on a good place in the next years to come. Tapos, Kicks, sorry, isingit ko na ng konti. Di ba, pinag-uusapan natin kanina parang 2 years lang, tapos parang may pro bono period siya, di ba?
Yeah.
At least yan, kahit alam niyang pro bono, nagtatrabaho siya. So, hindi ko alam, kasi yung iba yata, pag hanggat wala kang sweldo, hindi ka makikialam, di ba? Hindi ka magpapatrain, hindi ka magko-coach, di ba? Antayin mo na sumweldo ka. So at least si Coach Topex medyo maganda yung kanyang outlook na
Yeah.
in the middle of the nego or something like that. I mean, he still keeps on working with us.
It shows the relationship with the school as well and the managers to continue with that kind of agreement and then signing before the season. Willie, one of the things says is Coach Sobek came into a loaded team with KQ, all these other pieces, Mike Phillips, ready to compete. You can say that's easy, but really there's different pressures that come with a solid job. How do you think that despite having all these pieces at his disposal, this extension is truly merited by Coach Topek, showing what he's been seen coaching wise and developing the players?
I think developing the players, no, skills wise, I think it's I would say an easier job, no, yung all the technical know-how and improvements on siguro yung fitness, the X's and O's, no, of preparing. I think it's just about anyone can do with enough time. Anyone can do good, surrounded by a good support staff, coaching staff. Anyone can just really do a good job on it. Pero what sets Coach Topex apart, I think, in my personal opinion, what makes him different, no, is yung culture that he instilled into the team. Na it's not just when you hear the post game interviews, but it's also when you see. I mean, if you follow yung mga players on the social media, you get to see them hanging out. Or when off the court, na mga unofficial na mga interviews, mga ambush interviews, when they ask him what are they doing or how's the relationship with the team, you can see them having fun. It's a laid back atmosphere. It's a very supportive atmosphere. So I think that's for me a harder job or harder to impose on a team, yung ganung klaseng culture. And I guess it really seems to work. Kasi our players seem to enjoy playing with each other. It also seems to rub off on other players, on other teams. Kasi nga, bigla na may mga gustong lumipat sa atin eh. Syempre, they want to surround themselves with good people. How can I blame them? Pag ganun yung ginagawa, pag ganun yung environment and culture that the head coach instills on a team, I mean, it's really one of the yung magandang motivators, no, na you're not just getting the best technical training, physical fitness, but you get to play for, let's say, a family, that a group of people that you can consider your family outside of your main family, no? So I think it's very well warranted na ito like we're getting the best of everything with Coach Topex right now, and very much warranted yung yung top extension, yeah.
Vic, we've always talked about the ideal contract or life cycle for a college coach is 5 years because that's when you can put diba,
Players
your
mo na eh.
program. Players mo na, you can instill 5 years, everything develops from the freshman all to the way to their senior and graduating year. Especially that's what we get with Coach Topex, 2+3, you get it for a 5 year. What can you say? What does it say about the development and our continuity for the Salsa program?
I think what we can see now is that yun nga, I think medyo big deal sa akin yung development thing kasi we've seen how players yung nire-recruit natin, how they change from dun sa pinanggalingan nila to how they look now. Medyo malayo na yung itsura nila. So it says about yung premium natin on just hindi kumbaga hindi lang tayo nagre-recruit ng mga ready-made to plug and play, but we rather prepare them for the next stage of their careers once they leave Lasal or once they leave the UAAP. For example, yung itsura ni Luis, itsura ni Mason, even si Jacob and si
Yeah.
Kian, iba din
Yeah.
yung nag medyo iba na rin yung itsura nila from their kung asaan man silang teams before. Ibang-iba na yung itsura nila ngayon. So that says a lot with our system, with our player development, 'di ba? Na napakalaking bagay kasi it will really help these guys if they want to go to the pros pa to later on. So that speaks volumes for me. And yun nga, yung how the team is built up. So right now we have these yung pieces na meron tayo for season 88, but we are also preparing moving forward kasi si Kian and Jacob will only play for 2 years until season 89 lang. So andun yung we can see the build up na meron tayo, and medyo important siya kasi ang hirap mag-recruit ng alam mo nagpapalit yung isang team nagpapalit-palit ng coach.
Mhm.
Sobrang sobrang hirap maka-recruit ng players na pag ganyan yung
Yeah.
sistema
First
mo.
thing they will ask is, sino ba coach dyan? Or yung
Diba?
baka yung mag-recruit sa akin, next year hindi na siya yan, di ba? It has that instability.
Precisely. Pati yan siya eh. I think to end this, parang it's really important to get someone na the prospective recruit will buy in kung ano yung gusto niyang sistema. Kasi I always believe na players will run a wall for a head coach. That's why it's important that you have the head of the ship established long term para at least tuloy-tuloy na yung pag-recruit mo ng mga players, at least tuloy-tuloy and mas mapapadali rather than walang long-term stability.
Yeah. Final question to Gio before we go one final roundtable question. What did you make Gio of the timing of the announcement before UAP, the 3-year extension? Would it be more comfortable it was like announced after the season, or dahil nga 2-year contract lang siya, it had something that had to be done apparently we weren't aware of?
Actually, to be honest, like I've been spending time searching while the last question was asked. I couldn't actually find any
Yeah, I didn't mind to
mention of a 2-year contract eh. So
Yeah.
baka kung masabihan na fake news peddler tayo, then totoo nga yun. But although seriously, I couldn't find any news about it. I'm not sure if the timing is especially suspicious. I think it's probably normal, or maybe just one of those that maybe everyone forgot. Alam mo yun na, uy, may kontrata nga pala tayo. Or maybe there were some finer points that were happening behind the scenes. Or maybe each party were looking for certain assurances from one another. But I think in the course of it all, everyone acted in good faith. It's not like Topex looked for a new job. It's not like we looked for a new coach. And ultimately, I think it's really no harm done.
Yeah, it shows that both parties were happy and were happy to continue. Even there was this transition period there of signing the contract. I think Gio. I always thought it was they had a longer contract. It's an extension of the renewal. So by extension it means you're still under contract and it goes extended, right? Usually that's the way the verbiage goes, right? So talking
Exactly.
about this
Yeah.
guy, okay, guys, round table. Willie, Vic, and Gio. Let's fast forward 3 years from now, season 91. What will be the bare minimum accomplishments under Coach Stopex that will make you say he deserves another 5 year or 3 year 5 year extension as a coach of the Salsa Green Archers? What will be the bare minimum required to accomplish? Ano yung mga KPIs niya? What will his KPIs be for you to give him another 5 year extension come season 91? Oh, really? Starting with you.
Ako sana, ano yun, parating 8th place yung Ateneo niyan sa tenure niya.
That's completely out of his hands. You can give him 2 losses at least.
I mean, pwede naman tayo mag-rig ng game na magpatalo tayo para yung quotient Hindi, joke lang. Hindi, pero siguro in all seriousness, basta if the players are happy, if the players are visibly happy and nakikita mo na hindi lang tayo nagtatapon ng pera just to attract talent but people, genuinely talented people want to genuinely play for the school, yun yung makikita kong like yung for me, yung ultimate indicator of success na the program's back. We are although matagal naman tayong attractive program pero ano yun, yung really people want to play for you, yung ganung feeling na it makes you feel good. Na destination ka na talaga. You don't need to try hard to attract talent. People would, kumbaga ano yun, pipila na lang sila tapos pipili ka.
Yeah.
Yung ganun.
So what if everyone feels good, Willie, but you finish second for the next 3 years?
Okay lang, basta ano yun, hindi naman tayo proud na second place tayo tapos magpapagawa tayo ng coffee table book.
So, it'll depend on the circumstances.
It'll depend on the circumstances.
Sige. How about you? Ano yung KPIs mo to give Coach Topex another 5 year extension?
I don't want to put pressure on the guy, but I think that just speaking about facts and barring any injuries, I think
Correct.
this LaSalle team is one of the best in quite a long time. We have 4 players that are extremely solid, and I think 3 of those guys would be a star player in any team right now. They actually were star players in their teams. So yun nga, like barring any injuries, so apart from that, you have a very very solid supporting cast. We're talking about EJ Coliena, Earl Abadam, Toy Tuho. Let's not forget, Mike Phillips is a star player. Like talk about Kevin Kiambao the whole season last year, but Mike kept us in some games, and his performance has been absolutely phenomenal in some cases. So we easily have 5 really good players, and barring any injuries or barring LeBron taking his talents to Diliman, I think that we have a very solid shot now, and I think at least a championship to minimum requirement, getting 2, I think is an automatic extension already in my
Minimum
book.
2?
No, minimum 1.
Two-
Pero
minimum 1.
Pwede
minimum
naman
1.
3 years mag-champion. So, he could be champion the 3rd year, saves his job. Or the 2nd year. Parang ganun.
Yeah, parang
Okay.
parang ganun, yeah. Oo.
How about you, Vic?
One
Although justify that-
championship,
Okay, go ahead.
one championship, and palagi nasa finals dapat.
Okay.
Yun yung ano sa akin.
Yeah. I know my answer is I know it's a bit of pressure, but I know Coach Tupex. I think the standards I don't want to see one-off championships anymore. I think LaSalle has to be the stage where we have to build a dynasty.
Streak
It
talaga.
can be a one-off, a streak. I think to secure, of course, like Willie said, I think it's circumstantial. Like you said, could come to injuries, could be just one time based on circumstance. But for him to secure that, okay, here's a blank check, sign the contract, you're on board for the next 5 years. If he wins a back-to-back or even the 3, I will totally guarantee. I think we should move past that one-off championship. If we can see the signs of a dynasty, win 2, hopefully 3, that will be the most ideal situation. Coach Lopez, you're on board for the next 5 years here at Lasal. Okay, guys. That's it for Actually, to Coach Topex. I'm not sure kung 1 year ba yun, Pro B or regular na yun after 6 months. I guess regular na siya, no? After 3 years. Hindi na siya, no? May leave na siya. May annual
may
leave na siya
leave na.
kagad. Mayroon siya ng sick leaves. Guys, let's pivot a bit. We had another topic online, but since it came up earlier, we can say that for another time. But KQ, now in Sacramento, training with the Kings for their summer league, hopefully gets a slot in the team. Of course, we know Coach Jimmy Elapag is part of that setup there. He's one of the assistant coaches, of personnel development, sorry, player development. Willie, what shot do you give KQ to make first the summer league, then the NBA? Being coming from LaSalle, going to the Korean Basketball League.
Well, ako personally, I wish him all the best. Kasi I think he has the tools really to compete, no? I mean, skill set niya, tapos ano yun, may Filipino connection pa sa loob. What more can you ask, no?
May fixer.
May
May fixer kakilala. May kakilala. May kakilala.
Fixer
Eh.
talaga eh.
Oh, sir. Sir, wag mo na idaan dyan. Ako na bahala sa'yo, sir. May fixer.
Pero ano yun, just kidding. Pero alam mo naman, well, I think si Kevin has really all the cards he needs, no, to have a shot, to have a realistic shot. I mean, hopefully na lang talaga na it would be attractive enough nga to give him a spot or give him an opportunity. Pero well, good luck na lang talaga. Everyone's wishing all the best. Syempre, ano yun, not just ano yun, sa Lasal, but also sa Philippines, no? Para naman may pambato tayo sa kay Kai at sa mga Atenista na may mas
At kay Japet Aguilar, don't forget, the very
Aguilar,
first
oo nga.
yung knife nila na NBA prospect daw yun.
Not counted.
Di naman counted yan, G-League lang. Di naman counted yun.
No. Okay. All right. Okay, we can go to you, I guess, Vic. Vic, does Kiki have the tools? Is he what position will he play in the NBA if ever in the summer league does he make it? Will he have the skill set, lateral movement good enough for that position, given how athletic and how crazy talented these people are, even at the summer league level? What do you think?
I see him na ilalaro siya 3-4 na positions. He will be tested definitely on both positions. Especially sa small forward kasi most of the wing guys in the US are freak athletes. Sobrang athletic na mga players. So we will see, pero I don't see Kevin that as fast na makakatagal siya with opposing wing guys in the NBA na madalas natin nakikita. So let's see if he can take advantage sa power forward position. To be that versatile na 4. So yun yung doon natin siya masusubok hanggang saan ang kaya ni Kevin makipag-compete playing that versatile 4 spot. Kasi ngayon ang dami na ring athletes na they try to acquire as many skills as possible para maging versatile sila when they play the 4 spot sa NBA. So, yan. Diyan natin titignan. Hindi ko, seeing Kevin's game sa KBL, hindi ko pa siya nakikita na ganon kabilis para makasabay on athletic wings. So, let's see if he can take advantage sa power forward position. If makita man natin si Kevin Summer.
All right. How about you, Gio? Do you see Kevin cracking the NBA?
I think that Kevin's journey is to this date the closest we will have to a potential NBA joiner. Why is that? I think that number one, um, his passing ability is top notch. His shooting isn't that great for an NBA level shooting, but his passing ability is top notch. He's wide and he's fast and he can play defense. And when you probably start out in the league, that's probably where you're gonna start out, and hopefully he can make some highlight plays. That's the first thing. Number two, um, when we had who were the previous guys who tried to make it to the NBA? Guy Soto came in as a center, and although he's playing very well right now, when he did the summer league, medyo hilaw pa siya. He's bulked up
Mm-hmm.
significantly now, and he's playing much
Yeah.
better.
We also had
Um,
Bobby Ray there. Kiefer
yeah,
was also
Kiefer,
really.
diba? And but those two came straight from the Philippines, diba? And
Yep.
Kevin's journey is completely different. Then plays MVP level seasons in the UAAP, goes to South Korea and dominates as well. Um, and plays very well actually. I think he scored 36 in one game, diba? And now he's trying it out in the NBA. This is the closest we're gonna get at this point
Yeah.
in time. And
Yeah.
I like that he's trailblazing that.
Yeah, it'll be tough because from the summer league, how many players cracked the NBA lineup? One or two, three. He have a deep rookie class, right, from the summer league. So he has in order for him to crack the NBA, he has to be that star player on the Sacramento Kings summer league team for him to find how crack that lineup. So let's see. All
Yeah.
the best to him. Yeah, go ahead, Gio.
And I think the Sacramento Kings are actually missing a shooting guard small forward right now. So that's another reason why he has a big chance of making it.
Yeah. So shout out to Kuya Anton. The savior might be right on the corner for his Kings team for the upcoming season. Kevin Campbell. We'll see. Best of luck to him. If nothing works out, he'll come back a better player for sure, at the very least. So thank you guys for listening. Remember to subscribe to the Quiver on our social media pages. Listen to us on YouTube and Spotify. Catch our next episode as we continue to cover the Phil Oil preseason, see other developments when it comes to the team as we lead up to the UAAP. So I'm Kiko, we have Willie, Gio, and Vic. Thanks for listening, everyone. And as we always say,
Animo
Animo
sa
sa-
uh,